Hello and welcome back to Forge's Champions as we are just kicking it straight off with Barrage versus MnM heading into picks and bans, and we have not had a single 4-game day. Every game bar one has gone all the way, and Barrage were the team to get that as well. So here we go. I'm ready. That series was not one-sided. I thought it was going to be one-sided. It was not.
It was definitely not. Also means you need to swim in the Thames, which
I do need to swim in the Thames, but you know, nice. I also gained a new favorite AD carry in the meantime. So
yeah, you know,
Hybrid played so well. Dragdar the AD carry for them. If you didn't watch that game, make sure you head over to the YouTube channel LVP UK, and the VOD will be uploaded later today, and you can watch that game back. Well, that whole series back, because that was bloody fantastic. They played so well. This is an LEC sister team they gave it to.
It might be my favorite series of Forge just far.
Oh, we had a pentakill yesterday.
I know. And that was really good. But I gotta say, like, this is the dream storyline where like an underdog team beats such a big name, and is he going to pick a banner? It's actually interesting because Nautilus feels like such a power pick to me. We didn't see him at all in last series, and the Hacker him also something that was just completely ignored by both of the two previous teams.
Yeah, well, as we do head into picks and bans for our second series, Barrage versus MnM, take a look at what's been banned away in the Akali, the Rise, the Rek'Sai, the Aurelia, Nautilus, and Hecarim, all banned off as Barrage start on that blue side. They are going to be looking for their pick here. Going to be the Jarvan, bit of a flex pick. We saw yesterday getting put in the top lane. Most likely going to be for Scudsy in that jungle role, but we'll have to see.
I wouldn't mind it on Artorias, but I do feel like Scudsy we saw yesterday, good performances on the Rek'Sai, great performance on the Carthus as well.
Yeah.
So if they want to flex that in later on, I would not mind it at all. And for me, the big question mark is MnM, because we saw them perform really well at the regular UKLC season to pick up the Kennen and Tristana. We've seen Barrage play yesterday, and they looked really good, able to, like you said, the only team that 2-0'd. And now MnM, we haven't seen him play in a while, so are we going to see a really dominant performance? Is it going to be another back-and-forth series? Or are they going to flounder a little bit against the Barrage that honestly look to be in prime form?
Yeah, Barrage, they had a bit of an upward trend as well coming into the UKLC. You know, a rough couple of early weeks, and then they regularly made it out of that round one into the round of 4. But they've now got to kind of, you know, readjust, come back. They got a 2-0 yesterday. This is going to be a hard game. Remember, MnM were consistently good. They made it on that kind of top 4 mark of the UKLC. You got the lines of Monk, you got the likes of Chibs, who Chibs was the MVP, not the unsung hero, sorry. I mean, he got unsung hero once or twice. Chibs was the player who got Rookie of the Split coming out of UKLC, so he's a really, really good mid laner. Monk impressed everyone, especially when you look at the Cogmore. You remember, this is the team that beat XL as the first team to kind of take down one of these LEC sister teams. Now we see the Morgana Xayah get picked up for Barrage here. Curious to see what MnM decide to round their compound. Do they go for like a powerful bot lane to go 2v2, toe-to-toe here with the likes of Jackamaka and Fiddle, but they don't. They're going to give Chibs to the Zoe.
And Zoe is, of course, an incredibly impressive pick if you're able to get a little bit ahead of her and you find the bubbles, you find the paddle stars, and it's just the absolute worst of feeling when you just, you know, you're minding your own business, you're leisurely walking through your jungle, you get tagged and just deleted in an instant. And I do gotta say, I feel like picking it into the Morgana isn't as risky as picking it into something like the Braum, because with Zoe, because you can use Fog of War so well, it's not quite as scary. But still, Morgana pickup is really big for me, because I also feel like the Cannon is going to be a little bit mitigated by that. With Cannon, of course, you're looking for the big slicing maelstroms into an enemy backline, or use it as more of a zoning tool. And against Xayah with Black Shield, that's going to be really hard, because the safety with the combination of Featherstorm and Black Shield means that it's going to be kind of hard. I also like the Rakan ban here, because we haven't really talked about Morgana in terms of mid, but Kromel could also very easily pick that up. And they instead decided to take that away. Interesting is that they decided to ban the Karma themselves, because we saw Barrage play that yesterday to great effect. A lot of support for Jackamaka, who was MVP in the games yesterday, but when you have a player like Monk, I kind of understand banning away something like the Karma.
I mean, it's a real test here for Jackamaka to go up, like the likes of Monk, as the bans do come down. The Lee Sin Karma from the side of Barrage, while the Rakan Victor get banned away by MnM. Now, what are they going to look to take away here? They're looking at the likes of a jungler. They're looking at the likes of a top laner. A support. Probably going to pick themselves what kind of powerful junglers left open. They take the Olaf. We saw Fnatic Rising put a lot of priority on this during the run of the European Masters to mix success, to be fair. But what it does give you is a very potent early jungle. Olaf is known for the ability, his kind of early levels. If he finds out the enemy jungler, there's very few junglers he struggles to fight.
It's a combination of just the raw damage of Undertow, the disdain that he gets from his W, and the lower he gets, like, he's deceptively tanky because the faster, or the lower he gets, the faster his attack speeds get. And, oh, okay, yeah, sure, love that. Give me the Heimerdinger, baby.
Mid lane, my dude.
That's not going to be a fun lane for Chips.
I mean, like, the worst thing about playing Zoe is if they're standing behind minions, you can't actually hit them because the minions soak your paddle star. He just puts a turret down. That counts, man. So it just hit the paddle star onto the tower. It's like, yeah, cool, you cleared the tower, but you didn't get that poke off. And now we're seeing the Vladimir lock-in finally here. So that would most likely be going, ooh, actually, you could send Heim top.
You can.
Because it's already known that there's going to be a Kennen. And Vladimir has a decent matchup into the Zoe, because if the bubble connects, you use Blood Pool, you can't take a paddle star. So, and then you just sustain with Q from all of her poke.
Actually, I wouldn't mind it either way, and a Soraka pick it would be kind of crazy. They do go for that though, so there's going to be a lot of sustain here for Monk, and especially early on, the Soraka is also able to bully. I also feel like it's kind of nice into Morgana as long as you're doing it caught by the binding. But yeah, this Heimerdinger, it looks like they're going to go for the more traditional one where you put the Vladimir in the top and Heimerdinger mid. But like you said, honestly, I wouldn't mind.
Traditional, like Heimerdinger mid is a common thing.
Oh no,
the last time I saw it was in AD carry.
No. I've Benelux region, man. We like we have two people who regularly either play like Heimerdinger mid, or like two teams who play Heimerdinger mid or Heimerdinger bot lane. Does it always work? No. But is it fun? Big yes. And seeing the Heimerdinger here for Keimel, that's nice, you know, a little bit of national pride. Keeping the Heimerdinger going.
Yeah, he's running that cleanse as well, so if he does actually take that paddle star and he can't put a turret up in time, can just cleanse that and run away. But I am loving this Ignite on Chibs. We've seen so many Zoes opt into kind of more safe summoner spells, but getting that Ignite gives you so much kill pressure. So I do like that pickup here for Chibs. Good to see if we see the Electrocute pickup.
Ooh. A last-minute swap there as well from Monk for the teleport. So also kind of signaling that they don't want to try and duel early on or go there with the lane opponents. Instead, just going to sustain using the Soraka and then use the teleport to get a bigger and bigger lead and skill fine into the mid game. And let's be honest, MnM, we've seen what Monk can do when he reaches a late game status on a character like Tristana. It's not quite his Kog'Maw, but I kind of understand that as well, because picking up Kog'Maw early would be a really big risk to take.
I mean, while I've been off with Celtic Tiger, he has a very on-the-nose way of talking about League of Legends. You know, he kind of talks the hard truths, and he was saying to me, one of the things is if you play for late game, you just don't know how to play League at the moment. Late game is basically you saying, I don't know how to play League of Legends.
I hope that my opponent don't.
That's kind of it. It's like we just all play for late game, play for team fighting. But he said the best way to play League at the moment is to play for this early, to play for these plates. I've been talking about it quite regularly across Forge of Champions, but if you take that early Rift Herald, you look for the plates, you get that snowball gold off. We saw XL do it in game 1. They got 12 plates, and that gave them a 5k gold lead over Hybrid in that game 1. So if you can play for these early pressure, these early gold spikes you can get from the plating, you can look to snowball the game before the enemy team can scale. They've got an Olaf, they've got the likes of a jungler who is going to be very powerful in this early game. So I do want to track Nolte here, as he's actually already found out Scudsy. Chips uses the paddle star, but not going to actually find the connection. Now the turrets are going to come down, so Chips just going to take actually a fair amount of damage there with a Meteor connecting as well.
And I gotta agree with you here. I feel like Monk, not only in terms of picking up the teleporter, but also the fleet footwork, which to me signifies that he's just looking for the extra sustain, looking for a little bit more safety. And I kind of agree with that. I would like to see some early aggression, because I think that Barrage, if they're played as well, the Morgana is going to be able to push early on, although into a Tristana and Soraka lane might actually be hard, but it's mainly that Heimerdinger that especially is going to be able to put so much pressure on these mid-side plays. We already see Artorias and Mummus get some trading on here.
As we can see, it has been the Soraka picked up. We are still on 9.8 here at Forge of Champions, so pre-Soraka changes. If you guys are curious about any of the changes, I don't know what word I wanted to use there. I was going to say forced, but I wasn't forced. I wanted to do it.
Were you lucky enough
I was chosen by the guys here at LVP to do a little guide on all of the changes coming up for 9.9 for next week's patch is what we'll be playing on. So if you guys want to check that out, you can head over to our Twitter. It's not up yet. We only finished recording it today. We had a skirmish for footage, actually. So we basically farmed till level 6 and then just went in team fought
That was absolutely amazing. If you might, I don't know what footage you guys are going to see, but let me tell you that Jake hard smurfed.
If they don't get my like flash engage on Lux, I'm gonna be so salty.
I understand.
I gotta admit though, I might have try-harded a little bit.
I do
there.
feel like the rest of the
like
people.
Dark Harvest Lux. And I played purely to kill Mike, our sound guy. And we were meant to be capturing footage, but me and Mike kept 1v1ing each other while everyone else was like, no, group, we need to get footage of team fights. And I'm like, no, I'm going to kill Mike. And Mike would like, no, I'm going to kill Hitbrain. And we constantly fought.
There was also a Draven jungler that game, so I feel like the rest of the players don't necessarily, you know, took it as serious as you. But I got to say, I was quite impressed.
Yeah, we got trolled by Doctor.
We did.
Played Draven jungle.
Fleetfoot Draven in the jungle, and he did his best. This guy already starting to get the early push on, and oh man, Heimerdinger is such a nuisance to face. This is a big reason here why right here. It's not only the matchup into Zoe, it's just in general Heimerdinger feels like a champion where early on you just don't have a lot of agency as he's going to push you in, and unless we see Naughty make a visit to mid lane, might be a really hard
for Naughty. He just takes too much damage from the turrets at the moment. Yeah. He gets slowed, or if he's really unlucky, he gets stunned by the grenade. The rockets connect. You start getting the lasers from the turrets, and Naughty just gets poked too low. So it's a rough lane to gank, and Nulty's aware of this, so he's just invading into Scudzy because he knows he beat Scudzy in a 1v1. He might not beat the Heimerdinger.
And that's kind of the thing with the Heimerdinger, right? It's such a big neutralizer. Like, you put a lot of pressure on your lane, and like you say, actually ganking him is annoyingly hard. So the real problem, of course, is after the laning phase, where the Heimerdinger really becomes much more difficult to play. He needs a lot more setup, and hitting the skill shots become a lot more important as opposed to just being able to set up shop somewhere. Though your objective control always remains good as you get the turrets to tank. Now we see, by the way, we saw Artorias go for a Ruby Crystal start here. Just want to get that Kindle Gem as soon as as humanly possible. Skymore, he doesn't have his first blade yet, but even with Naughty in the vicinity, I don't think it's going to be too far off.
It's always really interesting listening to you say Kramil's name the right way.
Kramil, yeah.
Kramil.
That's Kramil.
Kramil.
That's pretty good.
I've said Kramil for years, and I'm never going to be able to change it, so I do apologize.
Oh, that's completely
everyone
fine.
In the UK scene calls him Kramil,
yeah.
But he does actually, the right way to say it is Kramil.
Yeah. I'm wondering whether or not Kramil himself cares. Like, I imagine he won't.
I feel like I would have heard as Monk actually just launches a Chakamaka, comes out of the teleport, just instantly wins out on that trade. As now we see Mumus actually going for the trade onto Artorias. The stacks are going to be blocked up. So he jumps away, can find that stun, and Mumus just doing a little bit of damage to Artorias there, forcing him away.
And the extra heal there on the transfusion really coming through clutch, otherwise it might have been in the big of if. That's a big root
that's
right
a big
there.
root. They've got a lot of damage to work with. Monk has no healing, has to jump over. The Ignite is ticking away, but Naughty chasing onto Fiddle, flashes forward for first blood. Naughty secures it. Now Jakamaka and the rest of the team closing in. Naughty's trying to jump away as he gets flagged and dragged onto. Health bar's low, but Shogun healing him up. Can't quite connect the damage with the kill, but the flash comes in. Chips is looking for a kill himself. He's flashed forward, he's flashed out, and it looks like MnM are running away with a fight. A double kill picked up for Monk.
And Monk, we mentioned it before, is the big carry here for MnM. If he's able to pop off, we've seen him get so many wins. And giving him a double kill right from the get-go, while he only had Berserker Greaves available, is quite a menace. And we see the double teleport being forced, so no opportunity for Artorias to get anything out of it there. And I feel like if Scudzy had been able to hit the flag and direct flash right onto Naughty.
He missed the cannon, dude. That's so sad.
That's the worst of feelings.
I thought it was one auto attack away, but you're right, he's got the Berserker's Crease. He actually doesn't have that much.
He doesn't actually have damage. Like,
I mean, he's fine. He's got a CS lead. Chips actually flashes forward, jumps in, gets the paddle start into the bubble. Not going to be rooted up. Chips chases for the kill. Almost finds it. No more glitter to be used here. Jakamaka has to flash away.
Imagine if Chips then also finds the kill that Scudzy now found in his own jungle.
Yeah, gets knocked up, secured the blue as Kramil looking to come over that wall, has got the grenade, flashes forward, misses out the stun.
Goes for it.
Naughty is low HP, gets the blast cone, can't quite make it connect. The bubble not going to find its mark here. Good Squire's Bloom.
Fiddle coming through with the roam.
There's a flash, Chips. He had a flash, he was fine.
He was fine. That feels so good if you're the Zoe here to just use your stolen flash. But Kyle, though, already being able to pick up a kill, has his Lost Chapter, so MnM can run into some mana issues early on, but Lost Chapter takes care of a lot of those. And now the push is going to continue once again. Thus far, though, Chips has been able to consistently deep push and make sure that he doesn't fall too far behind. Artorias, he's looking confident with his top lane matchup. He's just looking to scale, heading to level 9, level 11. When you get the max transfusion, the Hemo Plague, and really start training with Mummus if he allows for it. Well, Cannon, of course, doesn't have to take too big of a risk. And the Unsealed Spellbook also means that Mummus, if he can find something like an Ignite, and maybe an Exhaust or a Heal, in terms of combat summoners, he's going to have a really, really easy time against Artorias where the flash doesn't provide you with as much utility.
This dude goes so hard, jumps in, gets bound up, and he lobs forward one more time. Fiddle, auto attack connects, and Monk is just launching out of there. Here comes Scudzy. Shogun has that wish available, has the cleanse and flash, and Scudzy might be in for a little bit of hurt. The flag drag connection comes in, the dunk goes down. Jakamaka secures the kill, and Shogun forced to run away. Those feathers are in, and Ulti trying to make his way forward to see if he can punish. Shogun chases. Jakamaka has no ulti, has no flash. That's going to be an undertow for the slow. Nolty's picking up the axe. Jakamaka goes down.
Scudzy almost got taken down there as well. You saw that he wanted to go in, and when Jakamaka misses that sidestep, he knows it's over. The undertow, as soon as it hits, it's going to get chained into axe to axe to axe. Nice play there by Shogun. I was actually amazed by how long Monk was able to stay alive there just with the combined healing from the Soraka. The shutdown goes to Jakamaka though, and in a 1v1 matchup, he's still going to be behind as Monk at 3-1, up to 20 CS. As the BF sword and double dagger, but now with the pickaxe, Jakamaka going to be able to do a little bit better, but even then this Cloud Dragon is going to get contested.
They just jump onto Fiddle, the binding goes wide, and Monk can chase for the kill. He even jumps forward, the Dragon gets picked up, and Monk 4-1 on the Tristana.
And even in the games they won yesterday, we saw that Fiddle had a little bit of difficulty sometimes positioning. And when you play against someone as aggressive as Monk, who as soon as he sees an opening, just jumps right on top of you with the Tristana, just rocket jump, hits the explosive shot.
I really want to talk about what I said at the beginning of the game as well, how if you kind of play for late game, in the current meta, you will be punished. It is a weak point. MnM, they're playing for early. They've got the early jungler. They've been playing around Nulty effectively on the map. They've been playing around Monk as their primary win condition as well. We're 10 minutes into this game. They're 2,000 gold up over Barrage. Riftail's only just spawned, and I actually expect to see Nulty go to try and get that objective as soon as possible.
And also the Heimerdinger, as of yet, not having the biggest of impact against Scudzy. Looking for the play.
Looking for the slow. Monk is trying to jump away. He gets dunked and pulled back in. Buster shots available as he sends Jakamaka flying. He's low HP, dodges out the flag, and Drag secures it. Jakamaka picks the kill up.
And that's a big one once again, Jakamaka. Yesterday, he was the big carry as well for Barrage. And they're still in a deficit, but some plays getting picked up here to maybe equalize that gold lead just a little bit would be really nice for them. And even though the mid lane, Heimerdinger, hasn't had the pressure, the Reverb would like to see that.
Damage on the chips!
That was a really nice use of the portal jump. That was rather a prediction from Kraimo as he hits the stun and Chips almost goes down.
If that Drowsy hadn't landed, that would have been the end of Camille. As the Taurus actually making his way up, Nulty still keeping his hands onto his Rift Tower and has the smite available. It's going to be hard to secure as he does manage to pick it up. Mummus picks it up for them, and the Taurus is low. Undertow connects, and with the Ragnarok on, Nulty going to step away.
And Carmel really being the highlight player thus far. Artorias, he's looking for these plays. He's trying to make moves around the map. We saw the teleport earlier on bot lane. But he keeps not really finding anything as he's gone for the Phoenix Cody first. And now, 14-minute Herald. A lot of gold going into the pockets. And they're going to split it as well. And I know you love yourself some pre-14 Heralds.
This is exactly what I wanted to see out of this team. They're not going to be able to take first turret blood here because you can see Taurus makes his way back up. The Hemo Plague was down, but with Scudzy being about as well, they decide to walk away, but that's a lot of plates given over. This gold lead, still just 2k separating these teams at the moment, but as you can see there on your screen, Monk, he's got a gold lead over Jakamaka at the moment. Mid lane is doing a good job to kind of hold some of this gold lead back in favor of Barrage, so it's not falling too bad for them.
Also Nulty here, because you mentioned the Olaf, the early pressure. Yes, he's died 2 times and the KDA might not look too clean, but he's built up such a big gold advantage here. And with the Olaf, he's in such a prime position now to just run at people, get these moments going, get these early aggressions, get this early aggression off, and that means that MnM is really playing well around that. And even with a composition where you might not expect that much early action, they've been able to make it work just fine. Now, when MnM also starts to find his way into these team fights.
Connected, Chibs throws out a paddle star onto Scudzy. The rest of the team making their way forward. He has a flash, jumps in with a paddle star once again onto Scudzy. Just looking to secure themselves this crab as Chibs this time is able to dodge away comfortably from the grenade as the Infernal Drake is spawning up in 1 minute 20. I expect to see MnM put some priority on that for the moment.
And you have a really good team fight surrounding that as well. You have the zoning from the Zoe, you have Monk who's really far ahead, the global healing from your Soraka, and then Naughty is incredibly strong right now, has the Cinderulk and the Ninja Tabi, so he's super tanky. He's got the Ragnarok to make sure that he can get to any target that he needs to.
MnM might get this, pre-plates falling off. That's a lot of gold, 610 in his pocket. Uses the ulti onto Artorias, stuns him up, but Artorias uses the Hemo Plague and gets a lot of healing off, so he should be able to get away nice and safe. Even trade in the top lane, but MnM now with a massive, massive gold lead. It looks like MnM might just try and get their hands onto this turret. Try and get one last plate before the timer wears off. So it will go pop. Monk gets himself solo gold from that final plate. MnM playing very well around this early game advantage. 2,500 gold is what they walk away pre-15 minutes.
And even though they've died a couple of times, they've been in a couple of skirmishes that didn't really work out the way that they did, I feel like MnM has a really clear game plan here where they're continuously pressuring Barrage and making sure that they don't really give them the opportunity to react. Loving the build from Monka as well, going for the static shift first with just a BF sword, which means that you're going to be able to consistently keep pushing on those waves, and especially combined with the explosive shot from Tristana. It's going to make it so much easier for you to rotate around the map as well. We saw No Ego do this in Insomnia, where they just got the static shift first, just so they could contest those early objectives early. Just shove in the wave, rotate your Tristana, and make use of that early power, but they can't afford to overextend.
Fiddle jumps in, throws down the chains onto them. They got the damage off. Monk flashes away, the binding, the dunk. In comes the Ragnarok, though, forcing the stopwatch out for the moment as Naughty picks up Axis. The feathers have been called, but there's not enough to secure the damage as Monk gets a double kill. He's jumping onto Jakamaka. They have everything to work with. Monk comes up with a triple kill on Tristana, and MnM are running away with this game.
And the menace of the UK scene, the Tristana, finds yet another insane KDA, and Monk having a great game. The Infernal Dragon getting picked up, yet another turret down for MnM, and their most important member is now 7-2-1. It's going to receive even more damage from the Infernal Dragon. And Barrage, it's going to look harder and harder for them here, because yes, Jakamaka finds the Infinity Edge, but Kruimel is going to have a hard time to have the biggest of impacts in these team fights.
Monk can't actually be all that far off the Infinity Edge himself.
No. But I mean, I imagine he's going to get it on his next back. He's just going to triple kill.
And he also got that plate before and then the tower as well.
Solo
this man
gold.
has a lot of gold he's about to go spend. So see, and yep, straight up Infinity Edge.
Yeah,
BF sword into Infinity Edge. This guy is fed.
It's a 16 minutes, still insane. Minute Infinity Edge from Monk here.
With a static ship. That's 2 items. That's nuts. He's at like, I think that's 50% crit chance now, if I remember right.
And the problem is that Barrage actually don't have a lot of tools to get on top of Monk, because unless we see them hit something like a binding or a stun grenade from the Heimerdinger, the only person who can reliably dive on top of Monk, and even that is kind of questionable, is Scudzy, because Artorias, he needs to look for a flank, and that in of itself will be bad enough because Monk is such a threat right now, and it's going to continue to be, because it's not like he's going to fall off. But you also have Shogun on the Soraka of MnM, who doesn't even need to use his cannon ult offensively here. He can just use Slicing Maelstrom to zone and make sure that no one gets to Monk.
I mean, they're still pushing onto these turrets. They're so content here. Binding does connect as the wave will die out. That means Monk will take a tower shot, but with all the healing from Shogun, from his fleet footwork, he's back to full HP with a shield right now. And very comfortable.
I was expecting passive play because of the teleport, because of the fleet footwork, but Monk just proving me wrong completely here. Instead, aggression since minute 1, jumping forward with the explosive shot.
Bubble connects, but it's only onto a tanky member. Camille throws out the grenades, lots of damage onto him. Monk launches into the tower. The binding goes wide. Camille has to flash away from the paddle star. And Monk just pushing in this wave. MnM 17 minutes into this game, and they are looking to go for more as MnM goes for a trade into a Taurus, comes out for the better end of it. The bubble does connect into the Featherstorm. Chips!
Finds Jakamaka!
Sure, dude.
Yeah, that works.
Just deletes him.
I also like to draw it. Naughty going for the Zeeks convert. This is perfect. Like, you already have your redemption. You're not going to go redemption, Olaf. And I imagine his next item is just going to be a Knight's Vow. He's going to say, well, I'm Olaf. I've done my job in the early game. Monk is fed. Every next item that I'm going to build is just going to be solely to make sure that Monk will carry.
I mean, Chibs is now setting himself up to carry as well. There's just so much damage on this MnM roster. I don't know what Barrage can do to pull this back. We're not even at 20 minutes into this game. Look at the gold lead already. 6,000 gold.
5 turrets to 0, Jake.
Yeah, 7,000 gold. I had to do finger maths there.
Even better. And what I love from MnM, which is something that we saw Excel do in the first game earlier today as well, is they're not giving any opportunity to Barrage to get back into the game, because you might say maybe they can skill, maybe Artorias can farm up to 2-3 items. Jakamaka, he's still going to be a big impact in these later team fights. But MnM, if you just kill them before that, if you just use the advantage you're able to secure and just relentlessly push through them, it's going to be so hard. Because as you said, Chips is doing a lot of damage, but even someone like MnM, he's got the Gunblade, he's got the Sorkpan boots, he almost got his Morello Nomicron. He's going to shred through people as well.
Camille just had to ult to clear that wave out as Scudzy's on that flank, jumps away. Good slow comes down from Nulty though to make sure that they can't find it onto Shogun. That flag and drag combo coming up fairly soon. Look for Chips on the flank as Artorias comes in, gets Buster shot back, the Hemo Plague into the dunk. They're trying to get the damage onto Monk and he's holding out fast for the moment. Finally goes down as the Drowsy connects. 2 kills have been picked up into the Paddle Star, not quite enough to connect onto the damage though. The stun from the slicing Maelstrom, and in comes the rest of MnM. The full ace onto Barrage, a triple kill for MnM, and Barrage can do nothing but watch this game crumble before them.
Kruimel sees his chances crumbling, and I can't think of a more fitting way to describe this. An unbelievable, and this is what we were talking about. They give up everything just to get to Monk. I'm loving the flank from Artorias there, and the idea from Barrage to try and go for a Hail Mary play, try to take down Monk and shut him down works. But only so far as the rest of the members are in there. Nulty, MnM, and Chips then just absolutely decimate anyone who's left standing, and the Baron is getting started.
The second they spawn, they jump straight onto this Baron as soon as the Gummy Worm
Why
comes
not?
up. They're going to take this down nice and easy. There's no way they can contest. A bubble connects on Chips, but a good black shield onto Scudzy does mean that he won't get put to sleep. But now MnM might just turn for the fight. They step away. They want to spend their gold. A few members haven't based quite yet. Oh, lordy.
Let's not forget, MnM and everyone didn't even have the time. And like I said, I love the attempt to go for an Artorias flank here. But Monk, even with the amount of attention that he's receiving, stays alive for such an incredible long time that they just have to blow everything just to try and get to him. This Battle Star from Chips, that was really... I thought it was going to hit, but it's just shy of... But I was talking about MnM. He hit some big item spikes. He comes in, slicing Maelstroms. Nothing they can do.
I mean, MnM is doing some serious damage. I want to see what items he's got in his belt now, because...
Beforehand, he had the Oblivion Orb, Blasting Wand, and a Gunblade combined with Sorkpan Shoe. So he's at this point in time, it's basically true damage.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of damage. It's Monk with the Baron Wave just stepping up nice and comfortable onto this tower. It is melting to the Tristana.
He's not scared, is he?
This man, why would you be scared at this point? I think he has a Phantom Dancer. I want to double check. But I'm fairly certain he picked up a PD.
Watch MnM also have like a death cap and have this. If that, like, I don't even know what you do against that as Barrage here, because they don't really have a composition that fights well from behind, because the upfront damage is just absolutely insane from MnM.
Chips misses out on the bubble. The turret will go down. That's a big charge burst there. MnM's fighting Artorias here. Hemoplay gets used, and oh lord, he just deletes him.
He doesn't even have the time to use the pool, Jake. He's just gone.
That was a lot of damage.
He's just gone.
21 minutes on the clock. MnM might just be looking to close here. They've got the man advantage. They've got the Baron buff. They are going to step away for the moment. They have more waves to work with, but Chips pushing in with a paddle start. They're trying to Baron up the next wave. Look at MnM working this massive wave in that top lane up. So there's just going to be more pressure, more points to deal with as Chibs is zoning members away with these paddle starts, clearing out the waves. MnM just have so much priority, so much advantage on the map.
And the one saving grace here for Barrrage is that it's still so early in the game, but the death times are short. Atori is already back up. And Monk gets taken really low.
Oh, the wish comes out, he flashes away. Scuzzy got baited as he goes down. Now look for MnM, they're going in for the tidy up. The minions get cleared out.
Monk jumps forward.
Is jumping in forward, has to jump away for the moment though. Camille's low, almost gonna go down, but not enough to secure the kill. His health bar's there, and it looks like with 3 inhibitors at 22 minutes, MnM now, the Nexus has been laid bare. MnM in 23 minutes stamp on Barrage.
And Barrage looked so good yesterday. The first team to 2-0. Really showed that, hey, these open teams, they might have some good individual plays, but on a macro level, we're going to be ahead of them. And MnM just comes that we don't care whatsoever. Starting from minute 1, they're able to gank Monk ahead. And more importantly, as you said, they play for early and in such an aggressive way as well. The continuous pressure from MnM, the focus on the plates, the early objectives. And then once we finally see a team fight for Barrage, they get the flank with the Vladimir. Doesn't even matter because it wasn't just Monk who was fed.
I mean, you have to give massive props to MnM coming out of that game. They played that early plate game very well. And then typically, sometimes we do see teams slow down and go, all right, what's the next big objective? MnM, they didn't care. They carried on going, and they just completely out-rotated Barrage in that game. So fantastic game 1 for them to pick that win up. And I mean, while it did look like the Monk show, I think everyone on MnM was playing fantastically well. Monk was enabled by Shogun on the Soraka, because every time he was jumping forward, he would then get the full stack of the charge up, jump away, and then get healed for any damage he'd done from Shogun. So it was really confident play from the bot lane of MnM. You had a jungler being very proactive. Nolty looked incredible on that Olaf, using the early pressure that the Olaf gives you effectively to basically get to the point where Olaf wouldn't be useless, because Olaf falls off a cliff late game. They didn't need that because he just kept going. He didn't go for damage. He went for full support to enable Monk, and then you had the top lane just going very well. Chibs, it was neutral, right? Like, we kind of think Chibs is going to be quite a flashy player, but for that game, he was neutralized by Camille. But it didn't matter because everything around Camille was going wrong, and it's just a fantastic game for MnM.
It wasn't even neutralized. Like, Camille was able to stay even, but in Heimerdinger, I don't think that's what you're really looking for, especially like something like the Zoe. And Chibs, if you gave him an opportunity, he found it and he took it. And MnM, like you said, it kind of felt like he did nothing, just farm up, and then I was like, wait a minute, I'm insanely strong right now. And when everything gets blown, and he just jumps in, he shows that, hey, you need to keep me in mind as well. Like, I can also kill the entirety of your team. And as Barrage going into the next game, I'd be scared because there isn't a clear thing that I want to target here. It's just MnM look to be firing on all cylinders. I
think you want to target early game. I think you want to ban away some of these early game champions. You look at the likes of the Olaf, take that away from maybe MnM. Don't give them picks, but they can play confidently early, because if MnM snowball, they snowball hard. There is no brakes on that. That is just coming down the hill at full pace towards your Nexus. So, I mean, it's not even a snowball. It's just a flaming marshmallow rolling down the hill.
I just imagined like a giant marshmallow be like, you're like, oh.
It's just, there's a ship sitting at the bottom in a harbour and a flaming marshmallow rolling down towards them very quickly. But that marshmallow will have to continue steamrolling if they want to go 2-0 over Barrage. So we're going to cut to a quick break, and when we're back, find out whether or not Barrage can fight back, or if it's MnM going 2-0. See you after the break.